everybody. It is Patrice, also known as Naturally Treese, from Daddy Daughter Discussions with Dr. Boyce Watkins. And today I am here speaking with my great friend, Miss Nomalanga Moses. How are you doing today, Miss Nomalanga?
I'm doing great, Patrice. How are you?
I am doing wonderful. I am very excited to talk about the topic that we have today. Now, you guys can find Nomalanga at healthyblackwoman.com as well as successfulblackwoman.com, and you can find me at naturallymois.com. But for those who don't know, this is Your Black Women, which is a segment of Your Black World where black women come together from all ages, all different walks of life, and we keep it real. So, the topic that we're going to discuss today is something that I think is very interesting. I just think that it's very interesting that the media hasn't touched on this. But if the Cosby accusers were black. Now, we know that the Cosby accusers, about 98% of them are white women. White women who were prostitutes, white women who were strippers, white women who had a history of sleeping with famous rich men, white women who were addicted to drugs, arrested for trafficking, different things like that. So my question is, what if these women were black? Would Bill Cosby have lost any of his honorary degrees? Would the Cosby Show have been taken off of Nick at Night? Would this have been such a big story if those women were black? Because we all know how dog whistle politics can go when it comes to the media and black women. They kind of pick black people apart, but they're not willing to do that on the shady past of some of these white women who are accusing Bill Cosby of rape and drugging them and things like that. So, Nomalanga, I'm just curious, how do you feel? Because I have a whole list of stuff that I'm going to talk about, but I want you to tell me how you feel about this first.
Well, the topic is, what if the Cosby accusers were black? Would Bill Cosby have endured what he has endured? The short answer is no, and that's what I believe. And the reason why I'm saying that is just looking at the trend of, or let me say the way that the media has tended to report things. I can cite at least a couple of stories. I saw a story recently where I think it was 2 black police officers shot and killed a little boy, a white little boy. Within 24 hours, those police officers were arrested. And the expectation is that they'll be prosecuted. Nobody said anything about the little boy and how he punched people in his kindergarten class, or how his mother was a deadbeat, or any of that. We don't know anything about him. All we know about him is that he's a sweet little boy. Now, bless his heart. I have a 6-year-old kid myself, so my heart goes out to his family. But I'm just stating the facts here and looking at how the reporting is different. And, of course, we know I've lost count of the number of young black men that have been shot just this year. And then every single time we get the story about, oh, well, he was a thug. He was in there robbing people. And actually, when he got shot, he was running away. And, I felt in danger for my life. He's a big, ugly gorilla, and he was going to hurt me, so I shot him. There's so many stories that always look that way. Oh, he smoked weed and so forth. So it's a trend that we see. The other story that I want to bring up is, I wish I had the names, but because the story is just not in mainstream media, but I do know that this is out of Oklahoma. There's a police officer who made a habit of raping women, and only black women, or at least black women are the ones that have been cited in this case. There's at least 12, 13, maybe 14 black women. All of them are black. And granted, and this is just a testament to what I'm saying, I already know that most of them were prostitutes and strippers and all these other things. And of course, that's how it usually goes. Rather than focus on the fact that this man who's been given authority went and took advantage of women who were in very vulnerable positions. We're hearing more about the women and what horrible people they were. And they might as well say it, even though they're not saying it. What they're implying is, oh, who cares? They were prostitutes and they were, the low level of society. So who cares if somebody raped them or do them? Ugh, we don't even want to talk about them. So to relate it back to the Cosby story, and we turn things around, we have a black man who allegedly, and again, we have to use that word allegedly because the statute of limitations has expired on most of these cases, who allegedly molested, raped, did stuff to women, drugged them, and had his way with them. His career is over. His career is over. And I don't think it will ever be resuscitated. And I think that a large part of that is that the things that he did to a bunch of white women. So the narrative is very, very different. What do you think?
Well, I think that what you said about his career being over, it is. And honestly, that breaks my heart because nothing has been proven. You know what I mean? I mean, these are women who said, Cosby raped me in 1970. Why the hell you decide to talk about it in 2014 or 2015? That doesn't, to me, I feel like if I was raped and I know that I was raped, like, okay, let's just start from the beginning. At the end of the day, if you're a woman, anytime that you say that a man raped you, you're automatically a victim. Or, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the police are right on his ass. They're not going to ask any questions. He goes straight to jail, and he cannot prove himself innocent until he has his day in court. And I think, excuse my language, but I think that that's bullshit. Because a lot of women lie. Nobody wants to accept the fact that this girl was a hoe and she has accused 3 or 4 other different men of rape too. But it just so happens that everywhere she goes, drama seems to follow her. And I think that those are big signs. And you know, I was telling you that I have a list of women that I looked up their rap sheets. Some of the it's what like I looked.
You're talking about the Cosby accusers, right?
Yes, I looked up 5 different women, and I have a history of some of the things that they've done that actually prove that they could be lying. And did you want me to go through the list, or how did you want me to do that?
Tell me a couple of them, the names that maybe we might be able to recognize.
Okay, well, I think the most famous name out of all of them is Janice Dickinson, the very first model.
I know Janice Dickinson.
Yeah. Okay, Janice Dickinson, she has a history with drugs. She's admitted that she's had a history with drugs. And she wrote a biography back in 2002 about how she liked to sleep with famous rich men. Like, that was a big part of her story. And she said that she slept with Cosby in 1982. In her biography, she just said, we slept together, and then after they had sex, I think she had mentioned something about telling his wife, so he put her out of his hotel room, and he told her that he didn't want to talk to her anymore, like most men would if they cheat on their wife, you know what I mean? But in that story, she had never mentioned that he raped her. She never
that he drugged her and then took advantage of her.
Yeah, she never mentioned that she was drugged or anything. And in 2005, in 2002, that book came out. But in 2015, now she's claiming that he raped her. And so my question is, why the hell didn't she mention this in her book? Like, I think that would make for a great story. Why not mention that in your book?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
And
you know, my stance on the Bill Cosby story is I think that the most safe thing to say is I just don't know. You see, I don't know, okay? However, the fact that women are tumbling out of this closet like crazy indicates that he may have had some kind of a problem where he didn't quite understand what marriage was. But then again, who's to say he wasn't given a hall pass as well? So we don't we don't know. And obviously we're giggling and having fun with the topic, but it's a serious matter in the sense that if you really did take advantage of these women, that's a real problem. And for me, it was a little confusing at first because Bill Cosby is someone that I had really held in high regard. However, I still maintain we don't know. We just don't know. But we have the right to ask questions, which is exactly what you're doing. You're asking questions. And I think that what started to happen with the whole Bill Cosby story was people started getting angry about people asking questions. But we have the right to ask questions. You know, this is somebody's life, and he has not been proven guilty in court. But I still maintain, you know, something smells. There's no smoke without a fire, okay? Something smells, okay? What do you think?
Well, I think that there probably is more to the story, but my question is, why isn't the media picking up on the shitty past of these women? Because it's not something that's a secret. You can find this stuff on the internet. When I say I went to Google and I found the rap sheet, I mean, some of these women have been arrested for extortion. Some of them have been arrested for drug trafficking in the 80s. Some of them have been arrested for prostitution. There was a 15-year-old girl who said that Bill Cosby raped her in the Playboy Mansion. What the fuck were you doing in the Playboy Mansion at 15 years old? I mean, let's be clear. Anybody should ask that question. I don't feel like that's an illegitimate question. So, for me,
good question.
If that 15-year-old was black, that's the first thing that the white media would have said. What was she doing there?
Where was her mother?
Exactly.
Where was her mother? Why wasn't her mother taking
multiple interviews on CNN? Yes. She wouldn't have gotten a check. She wouldn't have been able to go on NBC and talk about this and get paid $10,000 or however much some of these women are getting paid. They wouldn't even have their day in court. So to me, it's just really, really sketchy and really funny that nobody wants to look at the shady past of these women. Some of them have been arrested for ridiculous stuff. Bill Cosby gets accused because he's black. I really feel that way. And if these women were black, this story would have only lasted for 10 days. I promise you. There wouldn't have been a cover on Time Magazine, New York Times, whatever the hell, with these... we know Janice Dickinson's a hot mess. Janice Dickinson sitting there with her legs closed. Girl, bye. That was the first time you had your legs closed in 5 decades. Don't play. It's just a bunch of bullcrap to me, and I think that is really unfair. I think it's really unfair. And it's just weird to me that nobody has ever thought about, or if they have thought about it, nobody has ever pointed it out.
Is saying it.
Because whether they're victims or not, you have to look at all of the evidence. And if you want to be fair and you want to say, well, we have to look at everything that he did, let's look at everything that a lot of these women did too. Because a lot of them are no angels. But for some reason, they're being painted as these victims. They're crying on TV and all of this stuff. And my second question is, if you're that hurt about being raped, and this is something that has taunted you for 20 years, 30 years, whatever, why does it take one nobody-ass comedian in New York City to bring it up before everybody decides that they want to talk about it? Nobody even talks about the comedian anymore. Nobody even knows the comedian's name that brought this up.
I don't know his name either.
Me either, and I don't care to know his name. Yeah. But my point is, why does it take for one man to bring this up before everybody decides, oh, he raped me too. Well, damn, I think I got raped too. Me too. And then there were some women who repeatedly went around him. If I wake up... If I'm hanging out with you and then I wake up and my underwear are gone or my clothes are gone or I feel like I've been taken advantage of, I'm not going to keep going around you. And everybody says, well, she was afraid, she was a victim. Okay, if I'm that damn afraid, I'm staying away from you. I'm not going to be in a room with you by myself. And then there was another woman who said Cosby raped me while he paid my college tuition. First of all, if Bill Cosby is not your father or your husband, there is no reason for this man to be paying your college tuition. And to me, that sounds like an agreement. That's not rape. That's not being taken advantage of. I have sex with you because you're giving me $50,000 a year. Period. That's a high-paid prostitute. So I just feel like a lot of it is a bunch of bullcrap. And to me, in the 70s, he had the Fat Albert Show. In the 80s, he had the Cosby Show. And in the 90s, he had A Different World. So Bill Cosby has been popping for 3 decades at least. So why not say something then when you know that you would have got more money? And you know you would have gotten more fame? It's bullshit. And I don't understand why nobody is calling the bluff on this issue because it's bullshit. There's no other way to put it. I'm sorry for talking so long. How do you feel about that, Nomalanga?
It's okay. You brought up a lot of valid points, and one of the things that we want to go back to the original topic. The original topic is what if the accusers were black, and that's really what's happening here. Is that they're not black, so the media would rather protect them than look into it or look into them. If we take off the table, if we just decide not to discuss whether Bill Cosby did it or didn't do it, and just looked at it as these women were victimized or feel like they were victimized, okay? And then there's another group of black women who feel like they were victimized, like with the policeman. Remember that I brought up from Oklahoma who raped 12 or 13 women. in both instances, even if we assume that Bill Cosby's guilty and the cop is guilty, we have to say that when we look at it, the cases are being treated differently, just because of who the victims are. When it's a bunch of black women, we already know everything. And like I said, I only read one story, and I already had a rundown of everything about those women. There were prostitutes, they had records, there was all kinds of things that they were saying about them. These other women, however, got a special. I actually saw a special, I'm not sure what channel, maybe on A&E or something, where they had a whole hour, like a movie was done, where they got to all get together and say, well, he did this to me and he did this to me. They had essentially the whole time to say what they wanted to say. And Bill Cosby wasn't even necessarily given the opportunity to respond in that segment. So if we're going to answer the question, what if the Cosby accusers were black? The short answer is it would not have happened the way that it has happened. That's the short answer that I feel.
And I agree with you. And the more I think about it, I get pissed off. I'm getting pretty vexed with this conversation because it pisses me off. Because I'm not saying, and a lot of times when I talk about this, like with my friends or things like that, I understand that situations have happened to women. Women have been molested. Women have been raped. I'm not saying that those stories are irrelevant. But what I'm saying is don't make the past of these white women irrelevant. It's relevant. I feel like it should be used
Right.
in any special that you have. Cosby should be given his chance to speak. He should get paid for it. Those honorary degrees that he lost, those same colleges need to give him back his damn donation. A lot of things need to happen, in my opinion. And I'm sure a lot of people ain't going to agree with me. That is totally fine. But remember that nothing has been proven. The only thing that you can prove is that a lot of these women were off the chain. So why is it that the media is not talking about that? That's really all that I have to say. I really don't want to keep on talking about it.
Me too. I'm done talking about it too.
Okay. But anyway, thank you all for watching. This is Your Black Women, where black women keep it real. No Malanga, thank you for joining me. You guys can find No Malanga at Healthy Black Woman and Successful Black Woman, and you can find me at Naturally More on Daddy Daughter Discussions. Once again, Your Black Women is the place where black women get together and keep it real. So if you have any comments or questions, please leave them in the bottom bar. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.